I thought that was our new agreed upon time.
No, not at all. We
You
are
missed the
live.
memo?
We are live. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Today is Valentine's Day. You can see I'm in my pink, light pink, baby pink, powder pink, as my daughter Hyacinth like to say. And she's in her red and white. Yeah, red and white, just no blue.
Yeah.
And that's Valentine's. You know, that
Okay.
was my elementary school colors. Rainbow Park.
Your colors were red and white.
Red and white.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Elementary school color. Now it's Valentine's Day. So good to see you, daughter. You got your
Thank
white
you.
blazer on.
It's so good
Doing
to see you too. I feel
good.
amazing.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Happy. Good. We got a real feast today because Adrian bought some that lasagna I seen there, right? She
Mm-hmm.
kept her word.
She did. So we don't have to worry about lunch.
Not to worry about lunch. You got a late lunch catered in here today. Okay, fantastic. I'm Robert Henderson Jr. I'm the president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. This is my wonderful, beautiful, talented succession plan daughter, Hyacinth Henderson. Tell them more about yourself, Hyacinth, people who just tuning in for the first time.
I'm Hyacinth Henderson, co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. I've been here for 22 years. I absolutely love what I do. And that's a little bit about me.
Good. Look at our friend here, Mario. First one popped up. Mario, happy V Day. I'm a happy Valentine's Day. Hey, Mario,
Yes.
you tricked me into that. Happy V Day. You
What?
got me, Mario. Happy Valentine's Day, Mario.
Am I missing something?
Yes. You say you're missing something? Probably we probably dating ourselves since you're too young for that. Okay, so today we got a fantastic show lined up for you today. And today, as I was driving, I said, I want to talk about the art of, no, excuse me, the perils of procrastination.
I
The
think that's a
perils
fantastic topic.
of procrastination. I think everybody is a victim of this.
Everybody?
Yeah, because I got like 10 books in me. One of the books is the blueprint. I actually have all the chapters outlined, and every day it gets past me. And I've been procrastinating because I've been doing something, and I have the book already laid out called the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have the chapters, the name of the chapters, and everything. I just got to stop filling them in, and that is procrastinating. And this has been since January, and now we're in the middle of February. So I thought that would be a great topic that a lot of us can really get next to and really look in the mirror and say, are you procrastinating? And how has it affected your life and what you can do about it? So let's have a fantastic show about that, Hyacinth, since you're the therapist.
I think that's such a great topic. I'm glad that you brought this topic to the show today.
Yes.
I was wondering when you 2 seconds ago said, what do you think about the perils of procrastination? I was like, what were you experiencing to make you come up with this topic?
Yes.
Especially on such a lovely day, you want to talk about procrastinating.
Yes. Yeah. Procrastinating because somebody been waiting for a wing. and it's Valentine's Day, and there's millions of people right now hoping that on Valentine's Day they're gonna get proposed to. So they're saying, what is this dude? Why is he procrastinating? I've been with him 11 years. They're saying that. So today's I think it's fitting day, and a lot of people can really relate to the perils, because there are perils.
Okay.
It's not a positive. It's really is, it's your risk, and time continues to tick, and it's going forward, and it's not waiting on me, you, or us, or nobody, So that's why on this wonderful day, I think it's so fitting. Now you see?
Oh, yeah, I see. I think it's
Yes.
phenomenal. So let's go back to your book and you having the books, you wrote the outline and everything. And do I get this from you? Because I'm in the
I
same
you're my daughter,
boat as
I
you.
don't know you're my daughter.
Are you sure? No, but listen.
Yeah. You should be sure. Just make sure I'm sure. Henderson, you know what I mean?
But here's the thing, right? So is it procrastination or lack of prioritizing?
Procrastinating. Prioritizing mean that you're putting one thing before the other, and you just keep, putting that down. But procrastination is that you just haven't done it. That's just it.
Right. And I wonder why you haven't done it. Is it because you haven't prioritized it? So let me not make this about you. Let me make this about me.
Right.
So for me, similar to you, I have books in me. And actually this year, 2024, I said I'm going to write several books. Are you texting while we're live?
No, I'm just... Okay, go ahead. That was a check. I
Every
want to make
every
sure I
show
check
before
arrived.
the show, every Wednesday before the show, Mr. Henderson says, make sure you got your phone on silent. But I'm wondering why we should make sure we have our phones on silent if we're going to look at our phones and read the text messages that come in, even if they're on silent.
I didn't hear what you said. What you said? Okay, that was a check, I said. That's about money. Go ahead. Go ahead. Procrastination, the powers and the perils of procrastination. DeLawrence Moore, are you procrastinating?
So let's unpack this a little bit. Yes, I love the topic. It's a great topic. Thank you for bringing it to the show
Okay.
on one of my favorite days of the year. So wise of you to do that. Thank you so much for that.
You're
Now,
very
I
welcome.
want to ask about the correlation between procrastinating and prioritizing, because you started the show with sharing with the audience that you have several books inside of you and you have the outlines written, and I can relate to that because we are in the same boat with that. But I wonder if it is I am not writing the book because I just don't want to do it, or because I have not prioritized the actions and the activities required to actually write the book. So is procrastination and lack of prioritizing the same thing?
No, I don't think so. Because usually when you prioritize something, you might get to it today. Just it's not be your first thing you're going to do today. You're going to do something else,
Mhm.
do something else, but you might get to it 5 o'clock. Somebody wants you to do this right now, but you'll get to it 3 o'clock. But you get through it. You get it today, but you just didn't prioritize it. That's all. But it's not you didn't if you didn't prioritize something, it's been a whole year. You procrastinate.
Right, exactly. So,
Right.
but when does it go from
Short
lack
term.
of prioritizing to procrastinating?
One's short term, one's long term.
Okay. So let's talk about the perils of
Because,
procrastinating.
reason why I said that because you know
Mhm.
this guy's been with this girl for 11 years. It's not that he's not
She should have been
prioritizing.
gone 9 years ago.
He's procrastinating.
9 years ago.
Okay.
Well,
see
he's
that?
also not prioritizing her. I think they go together.
No, prioritizing high C, I'm telling you, look it up. It's more for short term. But if you with someone and you've been telling them you're gonna kicking the can down the road, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna marry you next year. It's not really prioritizing. He's procrastinating, he's pushing it off. Prioritizing is I got this agenda. Today I have to go to the supermarket, I gotta go to the store, then I gotta stop by the bank. You know, you put them in order or prioritize. You gotta matter of fact, I gotta do a wire today. Thanks for making me I got a wire. I got to do a wire today.
Could it be that he hasn't married her and then he's procrastinating or proposed to her because
It's
getting
redhead.
married to her is not a priority to him?
Yes, that could be high C, but I don't want to get into the definition. Today. I really want to let everybody reflect in their own lives how procrastinating
Mhm.
can really hold you back. And most of us say we're getting ready, finna to go and do something, and it's been
Mhm.
10 years ago, and it's been a year ago. You know, like I said, I have 10 books inside of me,
Mhm.
and the last book that I called a blueprint. Last year, I wrote the blueprint, I think in December, and here is now in February. I have all the titles of each chapter, and now I just have to fill it in.
Mhm.
And actually, every time it comes to mind, I actually say, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Mm.
Actually, say I'm going to do it tomorrow.
So you don't prioritize it for today.
Right. I said, okay, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Mhm.
I'm going to do it tomorrow. That's what I said. Then I said, I'm going to do it over this weekend. You know, then this weekend I get fulfilled or whatever. It's not that I didn't have time. I did something else. I went and rode my bike.
Mm.
You know, I went and rode my bike because I know when I start riding, I'm going to be so engulfed into that. Like I'm going to be into a zone, you know?
Mhm.
So I'm saying, okay, I know I can get into this zone. But the last time I wrote a book was, I don't know. I think the last time I wrote one was probably 5 years ago or something. You know, the
Spiritual principles. I was pregnant when we did that, so that was more than 5 years ago.
well, not
What'd you
that one
write?
with the you
Oh,
can
the
deduct that.
tax. Oh,
The
tax.
tax detective. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you was pregnant with the spiritual principles?
Mm-hmm.
So that was 13 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
That one, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, y'all, I got a book called Spiritual Principles for a Prosperous Life. Wonderful book. You really should check that out. Call the office if you want that. That is a wonderful book. Spiritual Principles for a Prosperous Life. Love that book. Okay. Call 305-825-1444. Okay. So today we're talking about the perils, like the pitfalls, in other words, of procrastinating. Look at yourself and be honest with yourself. That's why I was honest with myself, and I'm not ashamed to share with the World Wide Web about the perils, the pitfalls of procrastinating, because it really does stunt your growth because you could be there faster.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think that when you get a little inkling to take inspired action and you don't take it, then it makes it harder. And so we tie this into the perils of procrastination because sometimes we'll get a thought and says, do this now. right? A divine download that says, hey, remember that book you wrote the outline for? Go in there and write a few chapters on it, or go sit down. And oftentimes we don't, right? We do the things that we have prioritized that we think are important to us in this moment. And then maybe we never get to writing the book, or 2 weeks later, or whatever the case may be, we find the time that works for us and we sit down to go to do the thing that we know that we should have done when we got that divine download to do it, that little nudge from the universe. And we're having so much trouble, right? So using the book analogy or the book example, it's like sitting there and it's like, gosh, why do I have writer's block? Why do I have writer's block? Well, you have writer's block because maybe you are in the flow right now. So when I hear the perils of procrastination, the first thing that comes to mind is you limiting your alignment, you not heeding the fact that you're in perfect alignment and the time to take action is now. And what happens is a lot of times we prioritize other things that really aren't important. We think other things are important because we're looking at it with our logical mind, and we're like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to have this, instead of listening to the divine voice that says, hey, do this now. So when I hear procrastination, I hear going against your intuition, your inner being.
So actually taking action and procrastinations are totally opposites.
Okay.
Taking action,
Okay.
doing it, and not doing it, putting it off, kicking the can down the road is procrastination. So you can't really move forward until you actually take the action. So each and every one of all of us who are behind, if you feel like you're behind, do you feel like you're behind at all? No. I do because like I said, I have at least 10 books inside of me and I procrastinated on them. So I do feel that I am behind in some things that I want to fulfill. I've been procrastinating, but I'm going to turn it around. That's why I'm, pouring my heart out to you guys, telling you guys, even me, so I don't want you to beat yourself up because I know a lot of y'all procrastinate.
So it's interesting. Yesterday when we were in the conference room having our Valentine's party, and I think you stepped out, we were having a conversation, and I was telling the guys, I said, for the first time, as far as I can remember, I feel just neutral, content, like at peace with where I am. I don't feel like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. So I understand feeling like there's more to do, but I no longer have that feeling of there's a rush. Like, oh, I got to get it done. I got to do this. I got to do that. I've intentionally taken myself out of that frequency. And I find that when I do that, I feel better and things flow better. And when I do the things that I need to do, or whatever it is that I'm doing, I have larger success.
Yes, I can understand that.
So, because sometimes we are in this frequency of like, oh, this, and it's like you're forcing and not flowing, and that's really why we're not supposed to be doing that while we're here, right? So, let's talk a little bit more about why we procrastinate and how to stop procrastinating.
Yes. Well, I think, it takes me back to my childhood days. And I remember going to high school and we had 6 periods. Sometimes we had 7 periods. At the time when I was in lower conscious, I didn't know it a lot. And I was in a lower state of consciousness, and 6 periods was like, oh my God, I dreaded it. But as I gotten older, when I reflect and look back, those 6 periods was like 6 hours while I was in high school. I got a lot accomplished because 1 hour was English, 1 hour was social studies, 1 hour was math. And even though you did that and I was on a schedule and I had to check in for the bell ring at a certain time. And then when the bell rings, you go to the next class and go to the next subject. That was such a good way of getting things done. If only I can get back to that. I know I can, in terms of scheduling all the things that I want to do. You can go to the gym, you can be on a schedule like that. And you can make sure that it's almost like you forcing that you won't procrastinate because you got to get certain things done and you're on a schedule. I think if most of us did that right now as we're adults, I think we would really, really pick up a lot of accomplish a lot of things in 24 hours that we procrastinate or say we don't have time for, because we know that we're on a schedule. We got to keep humping. It's like training. I think that's if and I think if most of us could get that back, I think there's a lot of because I would definitely have an hour of Spanish every day, an hour. Right now I do Duolingo and I do like 20 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had an hour of it, and then the next hour it would definitely be piano. You know, piano, just 1 hour. I know I would be farther along than I am right now, you know, and then it would be 1 hour of current events or something, you know what I mean? And then it'd be 1 hour and just being, but I like my schedule now. That's what it is, right? I kind of like ease, and I, I get to the office and somebody will call me, and the church called me and say, hey, I need a 40, and something, and I don't just say, no, don't talk to me right now, because I actually like the flow. I really do like the flow. And I like when you pop in my office in the middle doing something. You just pop in my office and Dad, give me answers. I want to talk about this. What do you think about this? And I'm like, Haishin, right now. You're like, okay.
You like when I do that?
Not really, but you just do it all the time.
I got to keep you on your toes.
But if I had a certain time, you can't go in here because of this time, that time, that time.
I know, because when you're on like, if I say, go to take this to Grandpa, and Carter's like, he's on the phone. I'm like, go in there. And she's like, no, he's on the phone. It just doesn't register to be like.
Exactly. And your daughter, my granddaughter, will tell you, no, he's on the phone.
She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, let me go.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. All right. So what did Mia say? Mia said,
I really do a lot. I really do a lot. True spoken. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Happy V-Day. Good afternoon.
Hey Mia, we're if you're just tuning in, you and Avery Mack,
you
and
know,
Tracy.
that's Avery.
Oh, that's Avery. Avery.
Mm-hmm.
Avery. Atlanta Avery.
Avery.
What? Avery? It's good to see.
I'm using context clues.
Avery. Happy New Year,
so.
brother. Happy New Year, Mia. Happy New Year, Tracy.
I believe so. I know so. But
right.
Let's get into this, because you said something very interesting where you said, if you could. Oh, you always say something interesting.
Oh, just keep going.
Maybe I should start saying, what she said didn't really make no sense. What kind of face would you be making if I said that?
Every time you talk like that, I think about when you was a little baby and I was rocking you, I reflect back and I'm like, it's the same person. Okay,
do you
go
miss
ahead.
Those days?
No, I just want to know,
do you miss changing my diapers?
I'm looking at right now like, what happened? What? You in your white suit. Okay.
You like this, don't you?
I love that.
You love it. Me too. Gosh, Mr. Henderson, let's stay focused.
Well, we were talking about the perils of procrastination.
For me, please,
okay.
please. Okay, so when you were saying, you said, if I had it my way, or
I do have it my way. If I said that, I didn't mean to say if I have it my way, because I am the master of myself. Well, go ahead.
You were giving us an example of ideally how you would schedule out your day. You used the example of being in school when they forced you that you had to be in first period, second period. And if, I don't want to say if you had it your way, but maybe, hopefully one day, hocus pocus, you could take control of your life and start saying, I'm going to create my schedule in this way. But you don't, because, and I want to explore this, open this up so that the audience can explore it, because we don't want to disappoint others. In order for you to get up and say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do Spanish, and then I'm going to do piano, and then I'm going to do this, when others are calling you, when others are texting you, when others are pulling at your attention, you would have to be so zoomed in to what you are doing that there will be a level of disappointment to others by
Absolutely.
you. And so, because I want to drill down on this procrastination thing and this time control thing. And a lot of times we are in a loop. As people, we stay stuck in a cycle, and we're like, I really want to do this. I want to do this, but why don't you do it? Well, because this person is calling, this person, external forces are always going to be tugging at you. This is where the magic comes in, where you get to say, well, you know what? I understand that this is going to be disappointing to you now. However, you'll be fine. You'll recalibrate. You're not listening. You just want to say something. Say what you want to say.
Because you're spot on, mm-hmm. and really, you absolutely hit the heart of the matter. Mm-hmm.
Is that why you call me a therapist at the start of this show?
Yeah.
Welcome to my couch.
Okay, but the reason why is because if I really
correct
did my schedule the way I really want to do it,
people would have to adjust.
Everybody would have to adjust. Mm-hmm. I would not be the easy go, understanding easy to talk to.
Oh, well, that's a limiting belief, Mr. Henderson.
No, because
Mhm.
it'll be like you cannot talk to him, you cannot talk to him, you cannot talk to him, and I, you know, like right now, Natalie, my wife, if she calls me during the day, first thing she'll do is say,
Can you talk?
"Can you talk?"
Mhm.
And I'll answer the phone because I don't know if it's emergency or whatever, and I say,
Mhm.
"No, I can't talk right now."
Mhm.
Or if I'm in the middle of a conversation on a Zoom or something, and she calls, I'll send the voicemail and I'll just say, "Hell, let me text my wife," or something like that, you know.
Mhm.
But if I really did my schedule like this hour, this hour, this hour, this I'm doing this hour I'm doing that, a lot of people be shut out. They would not really be able to get a hold to me
So
until
let's say 5 people or 10 people will be shut out. Or let's even say you're really popular. 50 people will be shut out if you did your schedule that way and they wouldn't be able to access you on a drop of a dime. But you did your schedule the way that you desire to do it, and it include it an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of writing time, and then you write books, and the books are New York Times bestsellers, and 50,000 people, 1 million people are affected by the books that you write because
yeah.
you had to not, I don't like you 50 people, 5 people, 10 people, but right now, and I want to explore this. We're just having this conversation because I know that the audience is picking up what I'm putting down. What the point that I'm getting at is oftentimes we don't want to give up control. That's what it boils down to. I want to be able to control the outcome of right now. And since I can't see the future, I think we talked about this on last week's episode. Since I can't see the future,
believe.
I am going to focus on what I can control now. I know that if I answer the phone, I know that if I'm always accessible, I know that if I'm this, like I'm available, then these people are not going to be disappointed in me.
Well, to be fair, Heisey, you know,
Mhm.
since I went back to high school, junior high school, when
Mhm.
I had 6 periods, you know, 7 periods,
Mhm.
and how I was able to accomplish a lot of things. To be fair,
Mhm.
when I was, you know, 15, 16, 17 years old,
Mhm.
I didn't have a responsibility other than to go to school. Let's be, I just want to be fair when you compare it.
Mhm.
I didn't have any responsibility.
Mhm.
Now, you know, at 8 o'clock, electrician had to meet me at my house at 8 o'clock this morning. Normally, I might have been in class, and I can't meet. And if Natalie was gone because she had to go to
Mhm.
her mother's house, you know,
Mhm.
um, and nobody was home but me.
Mhm.
So the electrician said he's coming at 8 o'clock. Me right now, I had to let the electrician in, and then I had to
Yeah.
talk to him and tell him what was the problem. What now? When I was in high school, I didn't have to worry about the electrician. I didn't have to worry about food. I didn't have to worry about gas. I didn't have to worry about the
Mhm.
car. I didn't have to worry about nothing. My job was to focus on English, math,
Mhm.
social science, you know, the band or whatever. And that's all I had. That was my job, is to
Mhm.
be educated. Now, being an adult, being the CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, being a father, being a husband, having clients, I still got to I got to go to the dentist next week to do my every 3 weeks, every 3 months. I got to be there, you know, at 9 o'clock for the dentist. So that's going to cut into my class. In other words, I'm saying I'm not making excuses, but it doesn't flow as well as it was when I had less of responsibility when I was 16, 17. All I had to do is attend class. Now, oh my God, so much more
So
in
then you
demand.
just don't have time.
Not, now you got to give me more than that.
That's what you said.
No,
That's what I heard. I heard
No.
you say, "Well,
lady,
I'm not a teeny bopper anymore. I have responsibilities. I don't have time." And so again, it's not about you and your situation. It's really for the audience because the audience can see themselves in you when we use examples. So what I really want the audience to understand is in order for you to progress and to move forward, you're going to have to make changes.
that's the only way
If
can
you
move
want to
forward.
get out of that place of procrastination, if you want to remove yourself from procrastinating, you're going to have to say, listen, some things, what I'm doing right now, it has to change.
Gotta change.
And it may be time blocking. That's what Mr. Henderson is talking about. It's the fancy way of talking about it now. Time blocking, where at this time, that time, this is what I do. It may be time blocking. It may be cutting out activities. It may be saying, I'm not doing this right now. You know what I mean?
Well, you know,
but things have to change.
I know, but now I'm going back. Today, if you all just tuning in, we want you to look at yourself, because we're talking about the perils of procrastination and how procrastination can really stunt our growth and slow us down. And you got to get a grip on it. And I'm just comparing it about, you know, a book, my next book that I'm writing. The last book I wrote what I did, Heist, is exactly what you're saying, is I would shut off at 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
from the office.
Mm-hmm.
And I would actually go to the law library, and I would go from 6 to like
Mm-hmm.
10 o'clock, and I would write.
Somebody had an emergency, clients were calling something, but this is my writing time.
Right. No, I did that because it's not gonna be forever, but I did that. So
that's my point.
That's what I'm gonna have to get back to, because during the daytime I can't do it. So like, 6 o'clock, go to the law library. I like the law library because they're real quiet, no distraction. I turn my phone off, and then I actually go from 6 to 10 and I write. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I just figured it out. I just said, okay, let me go back to doing that, because I just thought about, I gotta meet the electrician, I gotta meet the pool man, something.
You're
something.
welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. So I want you all to do what I just did. It's my daughter, boy, I tell you. Look at her now. Look at her now. But anyway, so I want you all to reflect and think about how you are procrastinating in your life. Because if you're not where you want to be, I'm telling you,
and it's a process. Yeah, it's a process. I love that I just therapized you right here on live. World Wide Web. I love this because the audience gets to see, because oftentimes when we hear the word procrastination, it has a negative connotation with it. And if I'm not procrastinating, I'm not a procrastinator. It's almost like fighting words, right? But if you get out of the emotional association with the word procrastination and say, you know what, let me break this down a little bit so that I can understand the process behind it. Then you can create a plan and come up with ways to progress and move forward, right?
Yes.
So that's why that's why we went through this whole process. And you got to run a tape back on this, because you have to run a tape back on yourself and say, wait a minute, if I said I want to do this and I haven't done it, or whatever the case may be, it's never that you don't have enough time. You have time, and you are in control of your entire 24 hours of the day. Even if you got a job.
Yes.
Even if you have an employer. You are in control of your entire 24 hours
no
a day.
Excuse.
There's no excuse, right? So as I was speaking with Mr. Henderson, and I said, well, you're talking about these 5 people that call you, maybe 15, maybe 50, maybe even 50 people calling you, right? You're focused on them and not letting them down. What about the 500,000 that you may impact? What about the 5 million that you may impact? And I'm bringing that here again, because when I say that you're in control of your 24 hours of your day, a lot of times you might be like, well, I got this job and I can't do this, and my boss and this and this. You focus on that right now. What about if I ain't telling you to quit your job. Don't say Highest and say quit my job. But if you process that and look at that and say, am I willing to take a few steps? Slow down and speed up is one of my favorite things to say. Am I willing to make this shift or make this pivot right now so that I can stop procrastinating on something that will progress me further? That's something grand. And maybe I need to pivot from working 40 hours a week for this person. Maybe I need to pivot to a new job. Maybe I need to pivot to being unemployed. You know what I mean? Like, what is your pivot so that you can get out of the space of procrastination and you can move to the space of progression?
Right.
You like those P's?
And don't get procrastination. Don't get it mixed up with fear. Like the guy who he says he's procrastinating. He married a girl and it's been 11 years. He has a fear.
He don't like her.
No, he has a fear.
He don't like her.
Yeah.
He don't want to be with her. He don't like her.
He might want to be with her, but he has a fear of being tied up or being
let me go, free me,
being locked
free
in,
me, time free.
So don't get procrastination, especially on the Valentine's Day. If you haven't proposed, and it's been that long a time, then don't get that twisted with procrastination. That's mainly fear or something else. How you say he doesn't like him? He could like him. He just don't probably want to make that commitment. You know
right.
What I mean?
He likes the benefits that you provide. He likes your availability. He likes your accessibility.
Yeah, he's getting the milk.
But
he got about a cow.
Right. But he don't really like you, because if he want to be with you, he gonna be with you.
He's getting the milk. Why he's got about a cow? That's all.
He like the milk, not the cow.
No, he like it all. He just don't have to pay for it. I mean, he don't want to be, if you want to say buy a cow, buy it. Yeah, you want to have that option. He don't want to have no papers on him to say that. That's all. That's another thing. We're talking about that on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
I thought for sure that you were going to talk about a subject about love. So when you said the perils of procrastination, I was like, what?
Okay. Because it's some pagan holiday to my
whoa. Wait a minute now. No Valentine's Day slander will be tolerated.
I loved you yesterday. I loved you 42 years. What are you saying? Not just today. Be my Valentine. You've been my Valentine since you was born. Now, top that. Shakalaka. Boom. Drop the mic. I could drop this mic. Right?
You're right, Mr. Henderson.
Valentine's Day. So a lot of people get depressed because they feel like they don't have nobody to be with on this day. Just
Mhm.
wait 24 hours and it'll be another day.
Don't
what I
listen
mean?
to him,
How
y'all.
you feeling?
Don't.
Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. Don't be feeling sad like you got to go and just get somebody, to be with tonight. Come on, just wait 20. Go to sleep. Watch a movie. Go to sleep. Wake up. It's over. I'm telling you. You new day. And everybody don't forget about this. Like the Super Bowl. Super Bowl, they just freak. Let me tell you something. I like the Super Bowl. It's good. But my God, they were Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl mania. It's
Where
just a
was it? Was
football
it?
game.
Hmm.
They were losing their mind. It was everywhere. Super Bowl. I mean, okay, but it's okay. Now it's over. Now nobody think about it no more. It's over. Isn't that something? That's amazing. Blood pressure go up. People lose a lot of money. And people lost a lot of money betting on the team. It's really psychological. You need to check yourself. Really. Today we're talking about the perils of procrastinating, and you need to check yourself. That's why I was just on live, social media. I'm checking myself so you
And you
know.
allowed your lovely daughter to therapize you.
Say it again. You allowed. So if I'm doing it, I'm not bashful. I want you to do it. Go in the closet, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and check yourself. But you got to be honest with yourself if you want to go forward. It's a lot. We are here to expand, to grow, to love, to share. But you got to be true to thyself first, number one. And you got to say, why am I afraid? What should I change? How do I get out of my comfort zone? I know what I want. I know where I want to go. And since you are the master and the queen of yourself, no one can control your thoughts but you. And you the thinker that think the thoughts. So you want to think about, okay, why don't we get this show on the road and why don't we do certain things, especially if you're past 40 years old, ain't no excuse. You know what I mean? I'll give you, if you under 40, okay, you're still growing. But by the time you're 40 years old, man, you should have did that, done that, got a t-shirt, married the wrong person, went to jail, got out, got on drugs, got out, was alcoholic, got off, you know what I mean? Rehab, you should be made 40 years is a long time to be on the planet. You should figure it out by now, Donald Duck really ain't real. And, cartoons, the talking animals, they really don't talk. I mean, if still 40 years old and giggling at the cartoons and something's wrong. You have to advance, expand, and grow. So we're talking about today the perils of procrastination.
Such an amazing topic.
Yeah, you love this topic.
I love this topic.
Because nobody can't run from this, can they?
Mm-mm.
Is anybody immune from
Mike Jack, baby? Look at that man in the mirror. Starting with the man.
Say that one more
Mike
time.
Jack, baby.
Mike Jack.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Starting with the man in the mirror.
Man in the mirror. Okay, the man in the mirror. Right.
Mike Jack.
And you got to be honest with yourself because it really will strengthen you. That's some medicine. You talking about taking a vitamin?
Yeah.
Take this vitamin.
And it feels good. It feels good after, because as you go through the process, then you start to feel empowered, right? You're like, wait a minute, I am in control of this. Because and we talked about this last week or the week before, but we always talk about it, the fact that most people don't realize how much in control you are. You don't realize how much power you actually have. You are the only power. So when you go through this process and you're like, I'm procrastinating, I'm doing this, just take a step back. Don't get caught up on the word. Don't get caught up on what you aren't doing. Like, okay, this is why I tell you all the time, journal, right? Let me sit down with my journal. Let me write down what it is that I haven't done. How am I hurting myself by not doing this? How could I be moving forward? Like, you go through that entire process. And when you go through that entire process, you put it on paper. Now you have a blueprint. And you're like, wow, here are all the issues that I'm experiencing. Here are all the problems that are causing me to procrastinate. Let me break this down and create a plan so that I can actually move forward. But a lot of times we get caught up in words. We get caught up in language. Why are you saying I'm procrastinating? Don't say I'm procrastinating. I'm procrastinating. And so even if you tell yourself that you're procrastinating, a lot of times if you don't have the consciousness to expand and want to figure it out, you'll bury your head in the sand. And it's like, oh, I'm procrastinating. I don't want to talk about that. Don't get me started on that. But you gotta back away from that, because when you back away from that, then it allows you to empower yourself. And nobody's really going to empower you but you.
Yeah, I was thinking about, there's so many people, that procrastinate, each and every one of us, a lot. But when you overcome that and you get a grip of that, and you take your power back and you use your power, man, it's a wonderful feeling. I mean, think about the guy who procrastinated. He hadn't been to the dentist in over 10 years.
Oh my God. It's a lot of people like that.
That's a lot of people who procrastinate and have not been to the dentist. They got all kind of plaque, teeth is going crooked, that got a cavity. Let me tell you something. If you past 50 years old and you got cavities, you are procrastinating because you know you need to do that, and you're going to feel better once you get that done. You feel like, oh my God, there are people procrastinate about going to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go and get that checkup. You need to. Procrastination, man, has really smothered and just overtaken a lot of our lives, and we wonder why we're not where we want to be, or why we're having so many. Procrastinating, that car is making all kind of noise, click, 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 and you still say, "I'll take it to the shop later." And when it stop in the middle of the road. So procrastination is a hell of a thing that me, myself, I, you, we, us got to get a grip on it, because we are our worst enemy. I tell you.
I the conversation with procrastination cannot be had without acknowledging the fear behind the doing of the thing. Right. So when you talked about the dentist or the doctor or the car, like even procrastinating on taking your car to get serviced, why am I not taking my car to get serviced? Right. Is it because I don't want to sit there? I don't know what the bill is going to come to, and I don't know if I have the funds to pay for it. Am I not going to the dentist because I don't want the pain? I don't have any dental insurance. I fear that I can't afford it. So when we start talking about procrastination, there are so many different avenues that you can go down to process, to really unpack, so that you can get to the space of finding solutions. Because for me, there is no point in identifying a problem without a solution.
That's true.
Like, why am I talking about a problem if we aren't at the very next breath in that same session, we aren't going to be talking about the solution? Because I don't need you to shine a light on something like, okay, now that we have this problem, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to work through it?
Mm-hmm. Is it true? You think it's a true fact? If I say, show me a person who is broke, I'll show you a person who has procrastinated.
To some degree, yes. Yeah, they aren't
Is that
doing
safe
the
to say?
things. Yeah,
Is that safe to say?
safe to say.
Yeah. Show me a person who,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Show me a person who's financially broke. I'll show you a person who's full of procrastination.
Because it's a lot of ways to make money.
Right.
It's a lot of ways to make money.
Procrastination.
Yeah.
Are you procrastinating on just not on the financial things, but even on health things, on so much,
What comes with procrastination? What are some of the perils of procrastination?
Not advancing.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say living a life where you don't feel an unfulfilled life.
No mobility.
You don't feel like the everyday. So checking in with yourself and how you feel and where your life is taking you, you have to have some accountability and say, well, what am I procrastinating on? How do you know you're procrastinating? You're not doing the things that you need to be doing. You keep putting them off. How are you feeling? What is the outcome? Because remember, the life that you live is a reflection of the thoughts, the behaviors, and the actions that you do or do not take. So when we talk about procrastination and the perils of procrastination, one of the perils of procrastination is staying stuck. One of the perils of procrastination is envy, jealousy.
No growth.
Disease, unhappiness.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything that's on the lower self is part of procrastination.
Because you have to do it. But there's a lot underlying okay, I know that I have to do it, but why am I not doing it? There's a lot underneath that.
Yeah. Well, some of it is lined with fear.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it, I guess I would say it all starts with belief.
Okay.
Because belief, engulfs fear. It's what you believe.
It's all tied together.
Yeah. That's like golden cord. Like love is, then procrastination, fear. Well, love, and then there's fear. And fear is that cord that binds us to procrastinate and put things off. I mean, it really. I've never known anything to come out good by procrastinating. That's why I say the perils, the risks of you're taking when you procrastinate. It's nothing really good can come out of procrastinating, because you cannot advance and grow. You stay stuck. It's a diminishing tool. It's you don't evolve. You don't develop when you procrastinate, because you're not on the growth side, and you have to be on that side. And in order to be there, you have to avoid, or you have to do away with procrastinating and take action and just do it. Do it and say, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna move forward. And when you move forward, at least you're not where you was. You're not back there, because you move from there. But when you're procrastinating, you still stuck back there. You're still back there, and that's not a psychologically, it's just not a good place to be. And you and yourself know it, and then you feel like it, and you feel like there's no hope, and then you get depressed, and all of that comes from procrastinating, fear, depressed, anxiety. Because if you feel like you're winning, you did something, you took action, you always feel better. That's like going to the gym, even exercising. Sometimes you could just stay in the bed and just lay around and do nothing. Your body just start feeling blah. But if you just break out a sweat and do something, you feel better. But remember, you did something. You had to take action, and that's how you felt better. You got to do something. Not procrastinate. You could procrastinate and don't go get nothing to eat and starve to death. I forgot to eat, and I ain't ate in 10 days, and now so you have to take action. You got to do something. That's action. So I hope you guys getting something out of this, picking up what we're putting down. Robert Earl says, I take my time doing everything now.
It's very important.
Yeah. Doing everything that you want to do. Yeah.
It's like the taking your time part. Societal pressures and programming will have us thinking like we have to be in a rush. You have to be you got to do, I got to go.
Yeah, I think social media, with all the media and all everybody is a expert, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a big one.
And all these
Call me
comments and so many. You get your news from this source, that source, not just the CBS and not just the networks now, but they get it on the cable and then the talk shows and the podcast. It's just a lot, and people's attention span is just deteriorating.
Yeah, when you have a plan, a lot of that, you're creating a plan drowns out a lot of the noise.
Right.
Because it's like, focus. I don't even have a time for this. I don't even know what's going on in the world. And a lot of times people say, well, you should know what's going on in the world. Why?
Right. Especially this junk.
Like, why do you need to know? Like, if you have your plan and you stick to the plan, Deshaun Boyce, if you're sticking to the plan and doing what you need to do, you got a lot to do. Once you figure out what you're procrastinating on and why, and you write that thing down and write a plan and set some steps, you're not going to have time to be focusing on what other people are saying with social media, with like tunnel vision.
Yeah,
exactly.
Tunnel vision. You're just focusing on what you do. Because there's people like right now, while we're focusing on all kind of stuff, you got mad scientists that are focusing on the life of ants. That's all they do. They study ants. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Or astronauts or space. That's all they do is studying space. Or, undersea world. That's you got people that that's what they do. You have a football team in a basketball season, a baseball season. Well, you got these people that just focus on marine life. And that's all they care about. They don't care about baseball. They don't care about football. They don't care about nothing. They focus on marine life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they have tunnel vision. That's a biochemist. Trying to come up with, a cure for cancer or whatever. That's all they focus on. And they're all their friends who they hang around. They all is on board, and they have a team to fighting some sort of disease. You know what I mean? They're focusing on it, and they don't care about the outside chatter. And that's what you have to do if you want to, get around procrastinating and focus. You got to have tunnel vision, because the world is constantly coming up with more and more. And I didn't want to put us on goggles with Apple and Facebook and have us walking around with goggles on and just, oh my God, why the rich are getting rich and the poor getting poor and the price of stuff is going up high. I just read an article in Boca Raton, man. It says they're building 252 houses on an old golf course. There's 100 and some acres.
Houses, condos.
Townhouses and houses. They ain't selling none of them. They all renting. A 3-bedroom costs $5,200 a month to rent. Can you believe that? Yes. A 3-bedroom cost, and they brand new home. They ain't selling none of them.
Rent.
252, because they say people ain't gonna be able to afford. They got to rent.
Yeah.
So while you're focusing and while you're not, and you're procrastinating on that money, the cost of living is steady increasing. So that's why you got to focus on me, myself, and I, and get your stuff together and learn something, develop and grow and expand, because that's what we're here for.
A word that comes to mind when we talk about procrastination is also delegation, right? So I know a lot of times we're used to doing everything ourselves, and I have to do it. I have to figure it out. Learning to delegate, either to your family, your staff, your friends, whoever it may be, whoever, your boo, learning to delegate tasks And if it's your boo, you got to ask, not tell. But we'll get into that another day. Learning to delegate tasks will help you with not procrastinating. Because what we're not saying is when you figure out why you're procrastinating and you create a plan and you can do everything. Yes, you can do everything, but you can't do everything at the same time. So that may mean that while you're focusing on going and writing your book for 2 hours a day or writing 3 hours a day, you're going to have to delegate the task that somebody else needs to make dinner.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Somebody else needs to clean the house.
That's the difference from when you were in high school and you had 6 periods and that's all you had to do is go to class and do that. Now you say, okay, you gotta pick your time and your hour and you gotta delegate.
You have to delegate. And this is where support comes in, right? So this is where your circle, it's all tied together. Who do you have in your circle? Are you with people, whether platonically, romantically, whatever relationship, that don't understand that you're in this season of your life and hey, I know that I used to do this, but can you do this now? Or maybe they pick up that slack without asking. So prioritizing and procrastinating and delegating, they all in this one big pot of soup. You're going to have to spend some time with that. And just like when you're cooking, okay, how much garlic do you need? How much celery do you need? Like you need to be able to figure out the measurements that work for you as long as you're cooking, as long as you're moving forward. A lot of times what people do is, because I need to be this one person for everybody at all times, I cannot do that. And so it keeps you stuck where, okay, ain't nobody cooking because y'all want 50 things. You want vegetables, you want meat, you want broth. Well, I can't do it all at the same time. So I'm saying a lot. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. What I'm basically telling you to do is get out of that space of having excuses. You can do everything, just not at the same time. And you're going to have to figure out a new way to do it. And that's going to look like delegation, support, saying no, disappointing some people. They'll be okay. They're grown.
Yeah.
They'll be all right.
Got to manage yourself.
Yeah,
you got to be a good manager.
Yeah. So.
You got to be a manager. You probably can't manage nobody else, but you can manage yourself in your life.
And that's the most important person for you to learning how to manage yourself, pointing the finger at yourself and figuring out what can you change? What are you doing? What can you change? How can you shift your mindset? How can you shift your actions and behaviors? That's the cheat code, because once you shift yourself, everybody around you is going to shift. But we spend so much time trying to shift other people and telling them what they need to do and pointing the finger. It's like, hold up, why don't you shift yourself first? But anyway, that's a topic for a different day.
Okay, good. Well, I got to go.
We're going to eat lunch now?
Yes. Well, I got to, yeah. Okay. So.
You didn't sound too confident.
We're coming up to Saturday, James T. Linda, we're going to be back. Understanding Money Part 1.
Only one part.
Only one part. We used to do part 2. We're going to Understanding Money.
You merged them.
Yes.
You put them in a pot.
That was
pot
a
of soup.
Yes, that was a good idea. That was good management.
Of your time.
Yes, it really was. From 9 to 10 instead of 10 to 11. Okay, but listen, tune in next Saturday for Understanding Money at 9 a.m. with Robert Henderson Jr., myself, James T., and Linda V. Harris. We're talking about everything about money, product strategy, and how to invest, and just total financial planning, Medicare, retirement planning, a whole lot.
Why don't you guys do a couples edition on money since it's still Valentine's season?
Oh, that's a good idea.
This Saturday.
That's a good idea.
A lot of people, never mind.
That's a good idea.
I'll let you take it from there.
Call us at 305-825-1444 and visit our website at www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. And they can call us where, Heisey, for an appointment?
305-825-1444. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's 305-825-1444.
Thank you so much, Mia. I'm glad you liked the show. And I'm glad you like the information, but we can really be happy if you just use it. Show us how you're not procrastinating. Come back with us and say what changes you made, and it really hit home with you. Because if you say it was a good show, that means it really touched you. And we're so glad that it touched you. The topics that we come up with, they're real. Because
we come up with?
I come up with. I'm sorry. The topics, I was just trying to give us some credit, but yes, you're right. I come up with the topics, y'all. I'll take all the credit.
That's how you like it.
Yeah, only time I was wrong was I thought I was wrong and I was right. All right.
Your granddaughter said that to me the other day. She started the only time I said, don't, please. I can't take 2 of you. I cannot.
She said that?
Yeah, she started to say the only time I was wrong. I said,
when I thought I was wrong and I was right.
I said, you got to get up out of that office, girl.
All right. Thank you so much. Avery, what's happening, brother? Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Happy Valentine's Day.
Until next time. Later.